A very good evening to all our viewers who are joining me today at Kopi With Vans. And yes, um, we have five speakers today who will be joining me from the HWA Chong Institution. And today we're going to talk about, let's get to know more about dementia, all right? A lot of people think dementia is something like forgetful, we forget to do things, but it's actually more than that. So let's dive into today's topic to get to know more about dementia and how the boys from the HWA Chong Institution has done as their volunteer work as well as community outreach as well, and to understand a little bit more about dementia. So let's get everyone up first. So let me just get the first speaker up. Hi there.
Hello.
Hi Ritong, how are you there? Nice to
Hello.
meet you.
So I am Ouyang Reitao. I am the project leader of Project CURAE 5.0. So actually, I wanted to lead this project and start this Project CURAE 5.0 is because as we all know, there's rising cases of dementia in our society recently. So I really wanted to do like a burning desire to help these people with dementia to actually integrate back into our society and actually help them out. So that is why I started for Project CURAE 5.0 and I wanted to be the leader for this project.
Thank you, Ritao. Thank you so much. That was a nice introduction. So let's get the second speaker up. Hi there.
Hi everyone, I am Tang Pei. So I'm the logistic IC for Project CURAE 5.0. And one big reason that I joined this project is because my grandmother actually has dementia, and it's pretty severe to a point where she sometimes can't remember who I am. So I hope through this project I can help out other people with dementia and to make their symptoms better. Yeah.
Right. So you're trying to reach out and to understand and make people aware what is this all about, right? Dementia.
Yeah. Also about the awareness.
Thank you. So let's invite the next speaker. And the next speaker is
Junhao. Hi
Jun
everyone.
Hao.
Yeah. So I'm the general secretary for this project, and
Wow.
my role is to manage all the administration stuff within the project.
Right.
So one of the bigger reasons why I wanted to participate in this project is because Singapore has our issue of an aging population. So dementia is definitely one of the things that will make is one of the rising problems that we have in our society.
Right.
And I also want to raise more awareness to the youth so that they know how to help these dementia patients live a better life. Yeah.
Right. Wow, good. Looks like everybody have a different role. General secretary, we got leader, and Tang Pei, what was your role?
Logistics.
Logistics. So you got logistics, we got the leader, and we got the general secretary. Wow, big roles. So let's invite another speaker here. Who is this?
Hi everyone, I'm Chun Hong and I'm
Chun
in
Hong,
charge of programs for this project. So the main reasons for embarking on this project is to be able to reach out and support like the dementia community in Singapore, which in a larger picture is to support the disadvantaged community in Singapore. So through embarking on this project, this has allowed me to understand more about the dementia as a condition and the patients, and also be able to understand their struggles.
All right, thank you there. Next, we will go for the last but not the least. Who is this? Yeah.
All right, hello everyone. I am Kayan Wu, and then
Yes.
My role in Project CURAE 5.0 is the publicity in charge. So what I do is I try to do Instagram posts online to try and educate the general public more about dementia, and also to raise awareness among youths as well as the general public about how to treat these dementia patients and the importance of not overlooking dementia in our society. Yeah.
All right. So it looks like everyone have done your introduction, and very interesting to know at this age that you all fully, what shall I say? You all want to get this awareness out to make sure that it reaches out to the public. In the same time, you also feel that you have done something for our society. So great job, guys. So we are going to jump into the topic, and of course, the viewers who are watching these are the boys that from HWA Chong Institutions. And today we are talking about let's get to know more about dementia. So I'm going to jump into the first question, and probably we will get the leader to answer these for us. Rutao, can you please?
Right.
So first of all, some people think that dementia is actually a type of disease in general, but this is
Yeah.
actually not true. Dementia is actually an umbrella term for actually all the symptoms out there. So actually, there are also many types of dementia, such as Lewy body dementia, Alzheimer disease, and
Right.
on and on. And so these are also a type of dementia, and it's not actually a disease. Now, some uh, symptoms that people with dementia can have is maybe decline in cognitive abilities,
Right.
some difficulty to express themselves, or not able to problem solve, and also not able to actually speak clearly, and sometimes have mood swings. So dementia is actually a term for all of these symptoms that I've actually said above,
Talk about.
and
Yeah.
that's why it is actually not a disease, but actually a group of symptoms. Yeah.
So this is not true, right? Because the last part here we
Yeah,
said is
this
this
is not true.
right? Okay.
It is
Okay.
not true. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody want to add on to this particular question? Anyone?
I think I'll just add on that dementia have like different stages. So maybe in
Okay.
the earlier stages, you realize that it's mainly just like memory loss or like just forgetting about daily activities. But actually, these patients actually act very normally, and they also can interact with you like normally. So for example, at the dementia center that we work with, some of the patients who are very mild, they can hold regular conversations with us, and the only problem they have is just forgetting daily life
Right.
activities. And
Okay, but I'm going to
yeah,
ask your guys right now. I mean, we are in this topic. Let's get to know more about dementia. I'm sure every one of us have forget things, right? Sometimes your lecturers or your teachers ask you to bring something, or I mean, of course, we try not to, right? But sometimes when we forget, is that something that we can say we are in dementia as well?
No, this is basically, maybe sometimes if we say we forget something,
Yeah.
maybe this not really dementia.
Right.
Maybe just an excuse that we did not do
Correct.
work.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
this is,
Yeah.
yeah, because we don't want to get scolded, right? So maybe we will say, oh,
Yeah.
we forgot. Use forgot something
Correct. Okay.
as an excuse. But if you
Okay.
actually forgot something, maybe
Yeah.
this may not be due to dementia, but maybe due to stress as well. Because maybe you have too much things to do in our
Right.
to handle, too much things to handle.
Right.
So we might have maybe like overlooked some stuff, and thus
Right.
we actually forget to do these activities and or tasks.
You know, in particular, since we are in this topic as well, it's dementia, right? And of course we talked about earlier, what is if somebody is very forgetful, but if these symptoms carry on, right? Like every single thing, I don't even know what time I wake up, I don't even know what time I ate, I don't even know if I had my breakfast, I forget my handphone number. If the symptom goes very regular, do you think that we should quickly, especially our loved ones, right? And nowadays, dementia not only at a later part of the stage, it can happen at the earlier part of stages. So during that happens, what do you think we should do? If someone, maybe a loved one who's showing this kind of pattern, hey, I forget to eat. Hey, I don't know what time I had. And this is very regular, not only just once in a while, but it's every day. Do you think that person have to quickly go and check up with the doctor? What is your take on this?
Okay, so maybe I'll address this question.
Yeah.
So, I think it's very important if you like notice symptoms early, because you're
Yeah.
able to treat them well, and you make sure
Right,
that your dementia condition doesn't progressively get worse. So, you should like try to like seek professional help, and at the same time continuously keep your body and mind active, so that
Right.
it doesn't keep getting worse every day. Should make it an effort to, for example, just doing simple finger exercises, or
Right.
even simple stretches in your life can help to keep your body continuously moving and active, and as well as just more interactions in general, and
Okay.
not just, for example, watch videos on the television all day, but interact more with people and keep your minds moving. And yeah.
Agree. This particular question, what are your opinions, right? We're not only talking about elderly, but are we talking about youngsters as well? I mean, you guys are. I mean, how long have you all been with the volunteer group that you all been doing this particular project?
since the start of the year.
Start of the year, right? So it's almost 8 months, right, including today, right? So do you think that? What are your opinions on this particular question that I just want to see what your answer is going to be.
So like maybe I'll address this question. So maybe even though many people might have that stereotype that dementia may only occur to the elderly, but actually even though this is true, like mostly you see that the elderly usually have dementia. This is because like the risk of developing dementia increases with age. However, there's also the possibility of like some sort of early onset dementia that can occur as early as in one's 30s. So even though this is less common, it's still like a very significant concern and can have different implications according to your age group.
Right.
So like you may have some certain medical conditions or lifestyle factors that can increase the risk of you developing dementia. So we should always look out for this and be able to identify whether or not we have actually gotten dementia.
Okay. You know, in these 8 months of this project that you guys been doing, I mean, this is away from what the topic is about, right? I'm sure you all have met many people during this period of time for 8 months. Of course, we're not going to mention names of who you saw and kind of stuff. But what was your feeling like when you see someone with dementia? What are your thoughts? What are your emotions? Maybe we go through like a clockwise direction. Maybe we start with the leader first. Leader, can you please let us know, how do you feel?
Right. Yeah. So when I see people with dementia, I actually give a lot of respect to the caregivers as well, because you see, taking care of people with dementia is not a very easy job, and it's quite a very big commitment to go through, because we have to because people with dementia actually have quite a difficulty in expressing themselves clearly. So the caregivers actually have a hard time to understand what they are actually saying, and so they find it very hard to help them. So through my interactions with these dementia patients, I also have grown much respect for the people, the caregivers who actually take care of them. And people with dementia often simple local motor skills, like they after they go to the toilet, they might not able to find their way back. So this simple task also needs the supervision of caregivers, which is I find it quite tough. That's why I give much respect to people, the caregivers. Yeah.
Right. Thank you for that. That's a very nice how you actually feel about it, and your towards the helper as well. I mean, the caregivers as well, right?
Yeah, the
Let's go to
caregivers.
Teng Pei, right? Teng Pei, what is your take in this?
All right. So, first of all, similar to Ray Tao, I do have a lot of respect for caregivers, and also when I first met these dementia patients, I also have quite a big concern for about their safety and how they go about their daily lives, because I do know that these caregivers, they might not be with these dementia patients all the time, so if they are without the supervision of these caregivers, how do they take care of themselves and make sure that they are safe? So for example, if they forget to turn off the stove, or they let the heater running, or something like that. So to me, then there's a lot of safety hazard that I'm
Safety
worried
concern,
about,
very,
especially for
because
these
sometimes
dementia
they can
patients.
be just cooking and then totally forget about it, and just leave it there,
Yeah.
and maybe reading a newspaper. So I think probably we are going to talk a little bit more on the safety aspect as well. Thank you for that, Teng Pei. We're going to Ken. Ken, what is your thoughts on this?
So I feel like the elderly, first of all, themselves, they are quite sad, because if they lack the ability to do their daily tasks. So I feel like because of dementia, their life has been simplified by a lot, and maybe they had a lot of dreams or activities that they want to do, but because of their dementia, they are unable to do so. So I feel quite sad for themselves, for them especially. And then through my interactions with them, I feel like they actually have a lot of thought experiences and things to share about what they want. But due to the lack of their caregivers, because all caregivers all have their own lives, so sometimes the dementia patients are left home by themselves. So actually all these experiences that they have and thoughts that they want to share with people, they have no one to share to. So I feel like this is quite a sad part about the dementia patients as well. So I feel like by volunteering every week, we are able to lend a listening ear to what they have to say, and as well at the same time be able to learn some of the experiences that they have. Yeah.
Right. Nice one. Nice answer there, KN. Can feel the emotions and how you feel about the society. Thank you for that. Let's go to Junhao. What is your takes in this, Junhao?
Yeah, so I do agree with Tang Pei and Wei Tao. So yeah, caregivers they got my respect. Yeah, so I do agree with them. Uh, these caregivers they do have their own lives, and they do have to take time out of their everyday lives, uh, even though they are managing work, exercise, and everything to just help.
Right.
You know, yeah. So definitely have huge respect for them. And also when I interact with these dementia patients, it gives me deeper insight into how I to how important uh, companionship is to them. It really shows me that they do have a lot of stories to share. Just that sometimes they don't have the right audience to share it to. So definitely they need more companionship. And definitely during the later years, for the elderly that have dementia, they do lack social interaction. So weekly interaction sessions do get them going, and yeah, can definitely see the spark in them whenever they come and interact with us. Yeah.
Right. Very well said there as well, Junhao. Last speaker, we go to Chun Hong. What is your take in this?
Okay, so mainly when we first saw them, we usually like develop sense of empathy for them, for like their struggles and like what troubles they face in their daily lives that maybe we might not get to experience. And not only that, sometimes in the later stages of dementia, they may actually not know that they have this condition that they actually have. So some people may think that ignorance is bliss, but actually such ignorance actually makes their condition way more painful. And hence this makes us more passionate about reaching out to other people and raising awareness so that we can garner more support for the dementia community.
Thank you, Chun Hong, for that. And I think you guys all nailed it rightly, right? Dementia is not something that's forgetful. It's more to that, right? And I totally agree with the five of you all here, because dementia is not just the person is going through, right? It can be as later part of the stages, at different stages of dementia, it can be worsened, right? But the caregiver is actually a person can't show emotions and have to attend to the person, whoever has a dementia. Can you imagine, like you said, a person with a dementia, they actually probably forget to think that they've not taken their lunch, but they just had lunch 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago. And then when they come back and say, "Oh, I want lunch." So can you imagine how the caregiver will be in that position, and the caregiver say, "No, you just took a lunch for five minutes ago." Then the person say, "No, I didn't take." So there can be a lot of arguments, disagreements. So definitely caregivers, at this point in time, we give the greatest appreciation to them, because probably they also will be feeling very stressful and sometimes can even be depressed as well, because seeing their loved ones going in that stages, right? We are going to talk a little bit more in detail pertaining to this topic with the boys from HWA CHONG Institution. We are talking this topic on Let's Get to Know More About Dementia. So we are live in Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram as well. We will also be in Spotify and Apple Podcasts, which just look it up for Kopi with Vans. Wait, any of you are drinking coffee now, guys?
No.
Oh, no.
Ah, I should
we
have
should,
I
man.
should have yeah, we should
Yeah.
have said if no coffee, I'm not going to chat with you. But it's okay. But on a lighter side, on a serious note, the weather is extremely hot. So please hydrate, and
Yeah.
hydrate. Right? Okay, so
That's
we are going to
important,
move
yeah.
on. We're going to move on. I see some people already messaging. Probably a trophy is coming in. These. Okay, nice guys. Thank you. So the next one I want to go into is, of course, the community. Right? If someone wants to contribute to the community to help cope with dementia, how can one help? All right, maybe we start out with the leader first.
Yeah, so if we see someone with dementia out in the public, like, or in the community, like, one way that we can actually help them is to bring them, like, if you have zero experience with people with dementia, we can actually first bring them to the dementia go-to point. So the dementia go-to point is a place there are actually professionals on site to actually guide these people who with dementia or that are maybe lost or maybe can't
Right.
find their way. So they have people with professionals are actually on site to actually help these people. And secondly, how do we help the community? So very important thing, which is to raise awareness. So like with this Kopi events, with this podcast we're having right now, we hope through this we can allow more people to understand like what is dementia and how to help people with this dementia. So through education and raising awareness is very important.
All right. Well said by the leader of the topic on dementia. Thank you. So we're going to go into the next question because there's a couple of more questions that I want to ask individual of you. What are some signs that I should look up for if I think that my family member may have a dementia? I'm going to ask Junhao. Junhao, what do you think? What are some signs and symptoms that you think that that we need to do?
Yeah, okay. So the most basic one that you will probably realize first is memory loss. So
Okay.
memory loss is short-term memory loss. So it ties in with losing you not being able to recall, like for example what you had for breakfast or what you
Okay.
had for dinner. So yeah,
Okay.
that's
Okay. I'm
definitely
going to stop you for a while here. Okay, Junhao. Okay, I'm going to test you right now. What do you add for breakfast 3 days ago? Okay, I'm just trying to be. I'm just trying to be on a lighter note now, right? But can we remember 3 days ago?
definitely quite hard, but
Okay.
for
So yeah, so that is why we are going to come in right now. I know you guys been volunteering. I know you guys have been going through all these Q&As and going through with volunteers. And I'm sure you are volunteered at Dementia Singapore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so with lots of knowledges. Of course, we don't know the answer. It's okay, but we're still learning, right? But Jun, how can you explain that? How severe the case can be? Like, if I can't remember 3 days, or is it a sign of a dementia, or it's quite common? What is
Yeah.
your context of this information that you have or you gathered?
Okay, so generally, for severe cases, right, just like how you mentioned, they could forget what if they even have eaten 5 minutes ago. Yeah,
Ah.
so this can actually result in like overeating and can also lead to like eating disorders. So dementia has its severities. In the early stages, right, it could be just forgetting like on the day itself, what you have eaten or the last time that you for example watch TV. Yeah. So for us normal humans that we don't really have like we're not diagnosed with dementia, right?
Right.
Something 3 days ago is quite normal to like not remember,
Okay.
especially if
Very
it's
good.
something not important in our lives.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. How if you forget your birthday?
That's a different story.
Especially you forget your loved one birthday, you're going to get it right from your loved one.
Yeah.
Okay, but of course, on a serious note, I know you guys are still volunteering yourself to the community services, but that's really great appreciation that I'm giving to all of you all, right? I mean, well, at this age, doing something for the community and for your service as well, right? Even for yourself. So when someone in the family notice that a irregular pattern, all right, that you see, hey, how come my so and so be so forgetful? And then the person says, never eat, but they just ate 1 hour ago. So these are all signs and symptoms, like any one of us can monitor, right, in our family. And if we find that if our loved one is going through that, I think the most important thing is to get checkup, all right, go and get medical attention, and of course to identify what's the issue, and then like what some of you all have said, identify earlier stages will be better. We can actually prevent it or manage it as well. So I think that is the key here we want to discuss about, all right? And also to bring awareness to the society what is dementia is all about. Dementia is not just forgetful, it is more serious into it, right? It can go into life-threatening cases as well. I've not experienced as personally, but I know in the past that a few of my contacts, right, they have dementia before, many years ago. This is like 10 years ago. And I noticed that it can be very very, very painful for the caregiver, especially because I see the caregivers going through tremendous amount of stress and emotional breakdown as well. Imagine for myself, I just take lunch today, all right? I took a chicken rice, okay? And if someone come and tell me, hey, I've not taken my lunch, I will disagree with you. No, what? I just took my lunch. He said, no, Vance, you haven't take your lunch. So it is the body perception of understanding it that I have taken chicken rice. But the real case is I haven't. Because you are telling me that I haven't because I was with you whole day. So this is the some sort few of these cases that the caregiver will go through, right? Because a lot of these agreements and challenging situations come through. So we're going to move on to the next one, which is of course physical activity, very much more important than mentally simulate these exercises for dementia patients with cope with dementia. During your this number of months that you have been doing project with Dementia Singapore, do you think exercise usually help? Maybe we can start out with KN.
Okay, so at when we volunteer at Dementia Singapore for our project, they will often emphasize for us to do both some simple physical activities or some simple sports activities, as well as have a 1 hour session to interact and to talk with them about a specific topic for the day. So this ensures that they keep both their minds and bodies moving at the same time, because half of the session is spent on some physical activities and the other half is spent on like more mentally stimulating exercises. Just like how the saying goes, a healthy mind resides in a healthy body. So it is important that they continuously keep their minds and bodies moving, so that they can stimulate better health for themselves, as well as to reduce the chances of their dementia condition getting worse. Yeah.
Right. Thank you for that particular answer, Ken. How about Chunong? What is your take? Mental games like those. What are the few mental games that you have went through or you noticed that will be good?
Like for when we were at Dementia Singapore, we integrated many like mentally stimulating exercises into the regular interactive sessions. So some examples might be like the art and crafts, where we provided them with some tote bags and acrylic paint so that they can paint on it. So like this manages to stimulate their creativity, so like in turn stimulating their mind. And not only that, we also play some simple board games such as bingo and other board games, such that it can stimulate their mind. But we have to be able to keep the difficulty of the games relatively easy, so that they are able to cope with it. So I think that we have to achieve a balance when planning these types of mentally stimulating exercises.
Right. Okay. So I think nowadays a lot of us are actually being glued to the phone like this, right? Whenever you see in the road, people are just looking at the phone like that. The nose touching the phone like that, right? Now, last time was like this. Now we are coming closer and closer and closer. Then eventually it will be put like a rubber band, and then we will be walking like that, right? I think we'll all be glued to the phone, right? I think we mentioned here that physical activity is very important. Doing some like arts and craft and keep our mind and body healthy, which is very important, because then only we can prevent or we can manage a lot of stuff, right? And I'm sure you guys have spoke to many during your volunteering, and I think that's a good thing, that you all went through, because you all went through the live scenario to see what is it about. All right, let's go into Tangpei. What is your take in this? What kind of games do you think will be helpful also under your volunteering part?
So like one of the events that we did, right, is we took them to botanic gardens and we had a walk. And it's not just a walk where they just like look at the flowers on the side, or we had a bingo game as well. So
Right.
we had the dementia patients like they try to find some of the plants that we set in the bingo sheet.
Right.
So like we also assisted them in like the activity.
Mm.
So basically, I think this is like a really good activity. Firstly, to stimulate their physical well-being. So by
Right.
walking, right, they're actually exercising, which allows them to keep themselves fit, and also like breathing the fresh air and seeing all the greeneries, I think definitely calms their mind and helps them to have a better mental state. And
Okay.
also like the bingo like activity that we did, right? It's like sort of like stimulating them to pay more attention to the different plants around them,
Right.
and like make their mind like sharper in like seeing the things around them.
Right.
So I think that's like one of the activities that stimulated them both mentally and physically. Also like at dementia center where we volunteer every week, we realized that I think for me, I think that simple physical activities is more important for like patients whose symptoms are perhaps more serious than the mild patients, because when dementia develop like at a later stage, it affects their motor skills, it affects their like coordination and
Yeah.
reflexes. So I
Right.
feel like for the more severe like moderate patients,
Yeah.
it's important that we're always like keeping them moving, like so
Okay.
like we do some simple sports
Right.
activity like
Okay.
beanbag tossing, or like just playing with the balloon to get them to like move their body more.
Right.
So
I
yeah.
mean, okay, guys. I mean, you all since you're volunteer because I've not done, so I'm pretty new in this, right? So I'm going to pose question to you guys, right? So what I'm hearing is there's beginner stages, that's extreme stages, right? So what is the beginner stages like? Can anyone answer that? What will be the beginner stages? Maybe we can start with Jun Hao. What are the beginner stages?
Yeah, so beginner stages, right? From what I've noticed, they're just forgetting like day-to-day stuff. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's not so poor until where they forget how to interact with other people, or they lose their social interaction skills. And they're still quite mobile. Like they can walk
Right.
quite well, and they can play simple sports quite well as well.
Right.
So in the early stages, it's definitely to a normal person who hasn't like interact with a person who has dementia, you definitely won't be able to notice the difference. Yeah, so it's definitely like that difference of the early
That will be
stage
okay.
with the severe
That will be the
stages.
beginner stages, huh? But let's
Yeah.
say if we go from beginners, we progress. Leader of the house. What is your answer?
Like still
Yeah.
from beginner stages, it's mostly
Yeah.
like you like forget immediately like what just happened, like from the past 5 minutes, or you forgot where, like imagine I put my phone in the bedroom, but then I forgot, then 5 minutes later I forgot where's my phone at. So this maybe be the beginner stages. Now as like the dementia progress, maybe some further changes would be I forgot like my own birthday or my own name. So this actually the latest dementia stages actually affects
Wow.
the long-term memory of your brain. So you
Right.
actually forget some long-term memory such as your name and your birthday. And
Right.
also right some later stages of dementia would also be maybe changes in mood or personality. So
Okay.
like you have like certain mood swings throughout the day, because your brain is like unable to express yourself properly,
Right.
and
Right.
also
Right. So you see a lot of changes in the emotions, yeah?
yes.
Okay.
So they might be happy talking to you like one time, and then suddenly just come out and lash out at all at you. So
Right.
these are like one of the challenges that I find while actually interacting with these
Right.
dementia patients as well. Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask Chun Hong, right? Then we will go to Kayan, right? Chun Hong, in your experiences, do you notice that a person with dementia, right? They have these moods that you face, and how they were expressing it. Was it like a bit challenging for them? What is your encounters?
Sometimes it's quite hard for them to express themselves because maybe they may lose their ability to express themselves, because some of them might usually talk in their dialects and might not be able to converse with us in English or Chinese.
Right.
And maybe they may become incoherent in their uh, in their speech because they might not actually know what they're saying, and they may be more familiar. They may be talking about past recollections of their what happened last time and may not be really focused on the present.
Oh,
So this may cause them to be disoriented and cause us to be confused with what they're actually talking about.
right. Wow, it's good experience that you had faced while you are volunteering. How about Kayan?
Okay, so I feel like besides just forgetting things, it is often hard for them to like also interact with us, and they also tend to have like some mood swings. So
Okay.
some of the times where we interact with them, they speak to us quite with quite a nice tone, but sometimes they tend to get a bit agitated. If we tend to say talk about some topics that they are more sensitive or they are more passionate about, so this results in them speaking maybe louder or like sometimes the language that they use is might be a little inappropriate or sometimes offensive.
Right.
So at those times we just have to accept, and then we just try to get them to talk about something else and try to avoid those topics in the future. Yeah.
Right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the answers, because now I myself now have a little bit more on this particular topic. All right, in Kopi with Vans, I think not too long ago, I think it was about 2 years back or so, I had a speaker who came in, all right, on Kopi with Vans on a health topic. It was a neurologist, right? If I'm not mistaken, is a neurosurgeon or neurologist? I can't really recall that. See, now I'm forgetting things that happened 1 year ago. So not a good sign, but I'll try to remember, try to do things what you all suggested. I mean, as everyone is getting wiser and older, then we need to do a lot of things, right? But what's the interesting part is that we talked a lot of things that's happening in our body, right? Sometimes we don't understand what is really happening to our body. So I think time to time, medical screening is very important, and also to make sure that we take care of ourselves very, very well to prevent and to manage all this stuff, right? I'm going to go into the last part of the question for today, which is, what shall I do if I see someone with dementia in public that looks lost? So now my question is this. It's a very tricky question. How do you know the person is lost? Anyone to take this particular question?
Right.
How do you know someone?
I would like to take this
Go ahead.
question. So,
Yep.
basically, if we know someone is lost, through we go up and ask them, or do you need any help? And then
No.
this person might have
The person say no.
no, you don't need any
Yeah.
help.
Yeah. Then the person like
Yeah.
this. Left, right, down,
Right.
left. So what do you do in that kind of situation? Maybe
So-
we will get Chunong, what do you think? What shall you do? Chunong, you are.
I think maybe you can change your approach, like maybe be more calmer when talking to them, because maybe it's the tone, that the way you're speaking with them. But if they still refuse, I think maybe you can check whether or not there's people around them that may know them, or someone else who seems more kinder and more calmer to them, such that
Okay.
they can
But
understand them.
so example, the person also reject you. No, go away, okay? Kayan, what will your response be? You know the person is already lost, because sometimes signs and tales and body language shows, right? Someone doing this, looking down. Something is not right. We are not making any judgment here, but because we want to reach out to people, right, to give assistances, not just be 1,001, just walk away. But since you guys have experience, so probably hey, what we have learned, what we have serviced, or what we have given out of the volunteering system, we know this is something. What your answer will be, or what you will try to do?
So if it's in public or it's like
Yeah.
near a shop or something,
Yeah.
if we are, what I'll do at first, I'll be to just observe and see if he gets like he's lost for, or he or she is lost for a very long period of time, and I'll know if there's something wrong. If he's just looking for something, then he'll probably finish in a couple of minutes. So it's quite
Right.
obvious to tell. But if they are looking lost for more than 10 minutes, or it's been quite a long period of time, but I also have other things to do in my day, and I cannot keep watching over them, and they keep refusing for my help. So what I'll try to do is try to get, let's say if there's shopkeepers around, I'll try to get the shopkeepers to watch over them to see if there's anything wrong. And if
But
they,
you know what, buddy? Kayan, the shopkeeper say, I'm busy lah, don't disturb me. Okay, we are going to jump into Tengpei. Tengpei, what do you think you should do, or what your expertise is? in this situation?
I think if they like refuse the help very uh like fiercely, or you can't get them to tell you what is wrong, I think
Right.
maybe it's time to seek professional help. Like
Perfect.
like if you go online, right? If you go to actually Dementia Singapore, or you go to like Dementia Hub SG, they have like hotlines where you can call to seek professional help. So like maybe in this situation, you call up these hotlines and ask the professionals what you should do, and maybe tell them the location so that they can send someone here to help you
Right.
and help the dementia patient.
Guys, I'm going to make this statement here, right? Because we are live and it is going viral, right? If let's say, if okay, because every one of us has a different way of approaching, right? If let's say I'm going on a busy meeting, or I got an appointment to meet my wife who is waiting for me for dinner, if I go late, then probably that's it, right? But I see someone with this kind of symptoms, right? What I think I will do probably is I will approach. If the person doesn't want help, push me away, or don't want to talk to me, but then I will stand far and observe what he's actually doing. Because a lot of times, if you have noticed, right, in social media, sometimes there's posting that person went missing, more than 24 hours, more than 7 hours. Probably they just walk and walk and walk and they get lost. So imagine you do not know where you are and you can't remember people, and you see many people. So there can be anxiety, there can be stress, and with this condition, it can even be worse. So probably at that particular point, if I can't help at this point of time, I think I will call the police force. And I will tell them the explanation. I met someone here with this kind of condition. I may be wrong, but I think it's for you guys to come and check it out. I give them the location, I give them the place, then I'll go off. Or if I have the time, probably I'll just stay there until the help reach. What do you think about this concept, about getting help from our police? Because our police are all very friendly. And this is just a predicament that you think possibly. Do you think that that approach can be done? Leader, what do you think, leader?
think that can be done, because maybe the person might be lost for other reasons, maybe not because they have dementia, might be some other personal reasons that we as a civilian might not be suitable to actually be in this position to help them. So maybe the police force can actually come in and step in and actually ask maybe delve into more details about this person, as they are in a more of a suitable position to do so, and maybe through this then they are in a better position to help this person.
Perfect. I think that's a good, one of the good ways. What do you think, Teng Pei? Do you think we can do this?
Yeah, I think certainly like reaching out to police might be more suitable than going on hotlines for specific organizations like Dementia Singapore, because like maybe the person you see, maybe he has other like conditions. Maybe he has like for example like autism or some other disability that you might not know of, and maybe like if you call like a professional from Dementia Singapore, they might also not be able to help them, and the police they have greater measures and more like greater manpower to handle the situation better.
Agree. I think most of the times, when we are leading our busy lives, imagine you're going to school, right? And you have an exam, and you notice that, a particular person with whatever the tail signs and symptoms are there, right? You somehow know, that this person need help. All you need to do is just call our police force, our friendly police force, and tell them that this situation is happening here at this location at this time. I'm so and so, and I need to go to school. I'm just reporting this, and that's it. Let them make the decision, because as part as what we are going on the flow to whatever that we need to attend. You can't be late for school. You can't be late for exams, right? But you done what you should be doing, right? You have did it, right? So I think that is one part of it. Anyone else have a different approach, apart from calling the police force? What it's okay to share, to see and explore. What do you think? Maybe we can start out with Junao. What do you think?
Yeah, so like Tang Pei said, right, if the person does actually have a different mental inability apart from dementia, right, the first thing we can do is definitely look on them. Sometimes these people, they do have like lanyards, and these lanyards do say if this person is lost, do call them. Yeah, family member or whatnot. Yeah, so and the police force, right? They might like instill more fear into them, and they may be even prone to run away. Yeah,
You got a
that's
point also.
definitely one thing. Yeah.
Right. I mean, just out of curiosity, who wants to be a doctor here as in the upcoming years? Anybody wants to be a doctor here? Nobody. No doctors. I thought a lot of boys from Hwa Chong is doctors because I spoke to, because you see, Kopi With Vans has been around for almost 5 years, right? So we have ex-students, alumni from Hwa Chong. So that's why I asked you. So nobody doctor here. Huh? Oh, okay. Policeman, eh? Nobody. Okay. Okay, guys, I think we had a great time discussing about this. I think it's very important, and I think with schools like Hwa Chong Institution, I think having you as their students, I think is a great thing, because sharing awareness is very important. You know, whoever's watching this probably, this is what I can react. I think in my opinion, like I said, if someone you see is under a confused stage, or somebody scratching the head like this, looking down, and walking aimlessly, the person is under distress. I mean, these are basic common sense, right? You don't need a rocket science to understand this. You don't need to be a doctor to know that, hey, the person need help. Anyone can identify that just by observing, but you're not making any judgment. It's just that you're looking through to say, yes, this person needs help, and all you can do is just call and then let the authorities do what they need to do, right? But of course, each of you all have a different view or points that you all have went through volunteering. Some has mentioned the lanyards with the information. Some say, let's call the police. Some say, go in a softer approach. Some say, no, they may get angry. Some may, allow you to talk to you. Some they know what. So cases can be different, and scenarios are actual and real. So you do not know what you are facing. So better to call up professionals as you notice. I think that's the way to get started. Before we end this podcast, I want each of y'all just to share your views, what you like to reach out, and what is your message across to people who are watching this. Let's start up with the leader first. Leader, reach out.
So to everyone who is watching this Kopi with Vans podcast right now, I just like to say that we through this podcast, I hope that you understand more about dementia, the different types of dementia, and also how to treat people with dementia properly. So through respect and through speaking them kindly and patiently, and I hope we can foster a more dementia kind society.
Thank you, leader. Leader is the responsible person of taking care of this project, CURAE 5.0.
Yeah.
And of course, the topic today is let's get to know more about dementia with Hwa Chong Institution Voice. Thank you, Rita. Now let's go into Teng Pei. Teng Pei, what's your role?
Logistics.
Logistics. So we spoke to the leader. Now we are going to the logistics. So the logistic expert. So what is your message across?
So the audience out there. So firstly, I hope that you have you definitely have elderly in your life, your grandmother, your grandfather. So I do hope that you spend more time talking to your grandparents, and interact more with them, walk with them, or just talk to them more. Daily interaction is very important in helping to reduce the symptoms for dementia, or prolong the period for dementia. So I do hope that you take more time to accompany your grandparents, and also if you do find people that needs help out in the public, you should definitely find trusted sources to find trusted hotlines or forces to help
To
you.
get help.
Yeah.
To get help,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Seek
Thank
help.
you, Teng Pei, for that. Let's go to Junhao.
Yeah,
Junhao.
so to the audience out there, hopefully you guys can have a deeper understanding of what dementia is now and what are some of the side effects. And also, I would like to say, please spend more time and cherish your loved ones. Yeah, definitely. Do spend more time with your parents and your grandparents, because they really give you a lot. They sacrifice a lot for you. So please spend
Thank
a lot
you.
of time.
Thank you, Junhao. Thank you for that very touching message that you gave. Now let's go into. So wait, Junhao, what is your role?
I'm the general secretary.
Wow, General Secretary. We spoke to the leader. We spoke to the logistic guy who manages everything. Leader is the one who controlling, make sure everybody gets together. And now as the general secretary, all right, general secretary also very huge responsible, make sure all the communication are passed. So thank you on that, general secretary. We will now go into Jun Hong. What is your role, Jun Hong?
Programs, IC.
Program IC, a very important guy. Everything must be coordinated and you check with everybody. Hey, leader, how come you're not doing this? Hey, guys, what do we do? So he's the guy, all right? Without this guy, the whole team cannot function. So everybody has a different roles, but very crucial. So what is your message across, Chunong?
So we usually concentrate on the dementia patients, but I think we should also put the spotlight to the caregivers, and we should also know to empathize with them and realize their struggles in their life, seeing their loved ones being lost to dementia. So you should also give them the support they need and be able to care for them and respect them for how they are able to cope with such a situation.
Perfect. Thank you, Chunong. Now we will go into Ken. Wait, Ken, what's your role, Ken?
So, I'm the publicity in charge.
Publicity in charge. Okay, so you are the one. Make sure the posters was ready. So were you the organizing team or the planning team for the posters?
Yes, that's
Very
mainly my
good.
job scope. So
Okay.
the message I would like to send to everyone that's currently watching this podcast is that no matter how much you think you can do for the community to bring a more dementia inclusive society, you should just put in just a little bit of effort every day, or like anytime when you see that anyone that needs help, because any small action that you do can actually have a big impact on the lives of the people with dementia. So I think it's very important that we are raising awareness and educating more people of the public to continue to care more for these dementia patients. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for all your participation in today's. Today we have the leader, we have the general secretary, we have the logistic guy, we have the public affairs, which is of course social media and all that, and programmer. Programmer also is very important. Make sure that every program is there. So I think you all have a very great team. Thank you so much for participating
Thank
in
you.
Kopi events. And I know tomorrow is a school day, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So thank you for joining me today at Kopi Events, and thanks to HWA Chong Institution as well for allowing the boys to participate in this project. Thank you, guys, and I will
Thank
catch
Thank
you
you for
all.
having us.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you for having us.
I'll catch you then.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye. And here we go. All right. So thank you. This is your host Vance here, and today we had a topic on the dementia. Let's get to know more about dementia with HWA Chong Institution. And it's almost about 53 minutes. And the boys from HWA Chong Institution has participated over a period of 1 hour to discuss all about dementia and certain truth and what the caregivers go through, or even the person who's having dementia, what they go through, right? And I think it's very, very challenging for the both of them. One was going through, and one is taking care of them as well as the caregivers as well. So this is just to bring a lot of awareness. So we are live at Kopi Events in all our social media: LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, in Instagram as well. We will be at Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and join us every week on a different topic with me, host your Kopi With Vans. I catch you. Till then, adios, amigos. Bye bye.